Dare I say the 49ers season's about to start. They're back where they need to be. The NFC Championship game. Nothing mattered before this point, but let's talk about how they got there. Newsprint Right Option Podcast starts now.
Welcome, everybody.
We are live.
My name is Jason Aponte.
I am Andrew Pasquini.
We're working. That's it. We're working over here. That's it. Let's go Niners.
Let's go Niners. Sprint Right Option Podcast. Oh my goodness, we are live. It's a new episode of the Sprint Right Option Podcast. I am Andrew Pasquini, joined, as always, by Jason Aponte. The 49ers beat the Green Bay Packers in the divisional round 24-20. In terms of watching the game, it wasn't my favorite. It was very stressful, to say the least, right, Jason? But in terms of content, that good old American content, this game gave us a lot to talk about. But first, Jason, before we talk about whether Brock Purdy was good or bad, before we talk about Jawan Jennings getting an end around to start the second half, whatever it may be, I want to know how you're doing today. How you doing, Jason?
Ooh, better than I would have been if the Niners didn't win. But yeah, in all, you walk around in New Jersey, you're wearing your 49er hat, you're wearing your 49er jacket, and people come up to you and they say, "Oh man, you guys got lucky." Leave it to New York people to not understand. As New York Giants fans, it's better to be lucky than good.
Why is it that lucky term is such like a negative? Because I'd rather be lucky and be playing in the NFC Championship game than like the Packers and be a little bit unlucky. Certain things didn't go their way and not be playing on Sunday. I don't know where this people have been complaining about the Niners got lucky. Yeah, they did. Did you not watch the game? They were down.
Literally,
they needed 10 points to win in the fourth quarter. They needed to shut that. They got pretty lucky, dare I say.
Literally, nearly every single Super Bowl champion has a game in which they got lucky, whatever it is that you want to call it. And I'll start it by opening up a wound, but I want to put this in part of in context. The New York Giants were absolutely lucky when Kyle Williams fumbled away the ball for 10 points to move on. They wouldn't get a chance to beat the New England Patriots if they didn't get lucky. I don't care how you win. Move on. You think the New York Giants went to the Super Bowl and said, we shouldn't be here, man. They gifted us 10 points. Are you dumb? Are you dumb? You can't be dumb. Gray Fox, he's coming and cooking already with a first donation. I like to think every time that Shanahan is beating LaFleur in the playoffs, during their post-game handshake, Shanahan makes his best White Goodman impression. Suck it, LaFleur. More like the loser. But for me, I feel like it's that Michael Jordan meme. You bitch, fuck you.
I think that's probably what it's more closer to. I saw a video. They were pretty friendly before the game, but after the game, that's when I want to see them on camera because it's a good old friendship, right? Like there's a little bit of rivalry because of the friendship. They're really good for. You remember when the Aaron Rodgers saga ruined that friendship allegedly? You remember that whole shenanigan?
Yep.
But obviously two good friends. Pretty good football game, dare I say? I think it was a prototypical NFL playoff game, a little bit of sloppiness here and there, a lot of bit of sloppiness here and there from the 49ers, but really a fourth quarter to remember. Fox got to show their little Kyle Shanahan 0-30 with in the fourth quarter, losing by 5 points. I got to show that.
They pick and choose.
Oh no,
it's 7+ points, 7+ points, 8+ points. Kyle Shanahan's 0-30 when his team is down 30 in the fourth quarter. It's the dumbest shit I ever heard in my life, man.
I didn't want to go through it, but I want to go back and look at the 2017, 2018, the very bad Niners, and see how many of those games they were trailing by 7 or more points entering the fourth quarter.
Go see how many
because
times,
that's a totally different Niners.
Bill Belichick has come back.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's almost as if you're more likely to lose games you were trailing in the fourth quarter than you are to win. It's weird. It's really weird how that works. It's really, really weird. And that's why the 28-3 thing is so big because it's so important. Listen, we're going to talk. Is Don Burr on Brad's channel?
I mean, I'm sure Brad is probably streaming and Don Burr is cooking. Don will probably make his way in here.
Donald. I thought. In the comments, I thought Don Burr on the channel.
Wait. So Daniel, is Is he on? Is Don Burr showing his face this entire
Is
week?
Don Burr
Because we have a very special like interview kind of lined up right now. I don't want to give it away. Like right
is
now,
that
like
is that confirmed? We're in the like ninth
it's
inning?
not confirmed. It's not confirmed yet.
Okay.
It's not confirmed. We're still working.
Let
But
let's just say it's a name that we love Don Burr, but Don Burr's not bumping, to say the least. I love Don
Don
Burr.
Burr can't bump the person that we think
Yes,
we have a chance to get.
we're hoping to have on Friday.
Yes. It's closer than not. It's literally like let's make more jokes. It's literally, hey, the Falcons have a 28-3 lead.
Yeah,
What's the
that's
worst
where we're
that can
at.
happen here? What's the
Yeah,
worst?
we're
What's
pretty
the
close.
worst that
Nothing
can
bad can
happen?
happen. Yeah. So we're hoping to have a very, very fun guest on Friday. We're not gonna let the cat out of the bag yet because it's not confirmed. So maybe us talking about it here, maybe bad luck. But hey, we're content creators. We don't control what happens in 49er games, right? What we say here doesn't matter.
Andrew,
Jason,
I did the instant reaction. And people were like, "It was a lot closer game than you thought it was." Yeah, but
it
I still said the
absolutely
49ers were
was.
gonna win. I was like, I don't care. Like I don't care what I predicted. The Niners still won.
I'm gonna be 1,000%. Once Aaron Jones had that, what was it, that 53-yard run?
The 50-yard run, I felt bad too. That's when I was like, oh, no.
I was very much ready. I had the like winners and losers of like the Niners lost this game ready to. I was like, I'm ready to go. Very sudden change, but let's talk about it, Jason. There is a lot to talk about. Let's start about the quarterback, Brock Purdy. 23 for 39, 252, a touchdown. Didn't look very good. I'm gonna just throw it out there. He did not look very good. He looked off. I don't care about. We'll talk about the rain. I want to talk about the rain in a little bit. Joey, I got you. Andrew, 26 of the 38, down by 8 in the fourth. We're in 17 and 8. There you go. So like, that's the point. Like, no, those were bad 49ers. So if that's true, I'm gonna. I'm not saying I don't believe you, Joey. I'm gonna double check that to make sure. Just because I like to double check things, but that sounds about right. That's my point. Is like there was a lot of bad Niner teams under Kyle Shanahan at the start. There was a team that started 0-10, right? The Garoppolo team, that team started 0-10. There's a lot of bad Niner teams in the Shanahan era. Let's be honest.
Right.
Purdy, I wasn't huge on his day. I'm gonna be 1,000%. But all that matters, Jason Aponte, is he figured it out in the final drive when the Niners had a chance to win the game. And that's all I care about, man. Everything, the near dropped interception in the first quarter, gone. I don't care. It didn't happen. Was there a few misses? Absolutely. Was the rain in his head? 150% the rain was in his head. Because if you're going out there with a glove on the throw and you have one drive and you're like, no, I'm not going to wear the glove. The rain's in your head. And I mean, didn't they show it on one of his throws where he literally dropped back and wiped his hand off as he was dropping back? It's that. But all that matters to me, and I think this is where Niner fans get a little bit lost. I was more impressed with Jordan Love on Sunday. Yes, he had the 2 interceptions near the end of the game. I think through 3 quarters, I was more impressed with Brock Purdy I was more impressed with Jordan Love than Brock Purdy. But you know what matters, Jason Aponte, is in the fourth quarter, the Niners were in a spot to win the game. And the defense needed to hold them, right? The defense needed to shut the Packers out in the fourth quarter to get back into it. And what happened? Brock Purdy showed up. Jordan Love did not. And now the Niners are going to the NFC Championship game. And that's where I am at with Brock Purdy's performance. I thought it was not great, but that's kind of the beauty of the Niners having a very talented football team, Jason, is when he's not great, they can kind of stick around. And I don't want to make it about the other quarterback, Lester. Thank you, gifting 5 Spicy Squad memberships. Appreciate that. I don't want to make the comparison, but certain quarterback the Niners have had in recent years, if you took that quarterback and said that those were the first 3 quarters Jimmy Garoppolo was going to have, would you trust him to make that fourth quarter comeback? I don't know if I would, even though we saw him do it. So Brock Purdy for me, fine game, whatever, came through in the fourth quarter when the Niners needed him. And that's really it for my thought.
Gather around, 49er fans. I want to regale you with a tale of a certain San Francisco 49ers quarterback that this podcast is named after, essentially the play that happened. Gather around. 49er fans, getting real close. Real close. Joseph Montana runs sprint right option to Dwight Clark, and the 49ers win the NFC Championship. Funny, that's the last drive. Joe Montana threw 3 interceptions in that football game.
Mm-hmm.
Am I equating Joe Montana to Brock Purdy? Stop it. But there's no way that you're going to sit there and say that in 1981, before there was Twitter, before there was YouTube, before there was anywhere for people to complain about, aside from just speaking to people. So did anyone say after that NFC Championship game in which Joe Montana threw 3 interceptions, which surely hurt the 49ers, I mean, in a gotta-have-it-all game, did anyone say, man, I don't know about going to the Super Bowl this year, man, because that Joe Montana guy, he's got skinny legs and he threw 3 interceptions, and then, like, he just had one good drive at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Guys, chill the fuck out, man. Please. It's not me trying to equate one to the other, but my goodness, man. Tom Brady has made his career early on as the guy who literally would be a game manager and then got a for God's sakes, there's people in our comments that believe that Anna Vinatieri is more important to the Patriots dynasty than Tom Brady. For God's sakes. And why is that? Because Tom Brady, eventually, when he got his chance, even if he played okay, even if he played poorly, he got the last drive done.
Yeah.
There's 2 ways to look at this, and this is the easiest way. Brock missed throws. Brock looked shaky. The offense didn't look good. I got things to say to Kyle Shanahan.
I have a lot of things to say to Kyle Shanahan.
But god damn, man, when the money was on the line and you needed that drive, the only reason there was an incompletion is because George Kittle dropped the easiest pass in his career.
Mm-hmm.
And you now want me to get nervous because, someone out there believes. You now want me to be nervous about the San Francisco 49ers team that literally put up the worst performance they probably could have put up on defense, on offense.
Yes.
Took punches, won. And I know for a fact that regardless of the outcome on Sunday, by the way, spoiler alert, I'm going to predict a 49ers victory and they're going to Las Vegas.
Yeah.
You now want me to think that they're going to do that again on Sunday? Stop.
68 degrees and sunny.
Just stop. Allegedly. Everybody just stop, okay? I'm not saying that Brock Purdy's going to have the career that Joe Montana had, right?
No.
But God, if there was Twitter and Joe Montana had thrown 3 interceptions in the NFC Championship, and then he had that drive, the same way that people are like disputing Brock Purdy, they would be saying, man, I don't know if that 16 guy is, I don't know if 16 is the guy. I don't know if Joe Montana is the guy. Guys, in a game which everyone wanted Brock Purdy to, have one of those game-winning drives, right? Can he do it when everything's on the line? He does it, and now we're sitting here. Well, he's got to do it again, right? That's why I sent out the very obvious sarcastic tweet. I can't give Brock Purdy any credit until he beats the 85 Bears on Mars.
Yeah.
Without a suit. Come on. You have to look at this game objectively and say this. The 49ers played their worst game. Brock Purdy probably couldn't have played any worse. It was raining, and they still won.
Mm-hmm.
Is that going to happen on Sunday? Nope. No. And
it's funny.
The Green Bay Packers defense is better than the Detroit Lions defense. So, there. Andrew, Joe Montana, essentially what you should take from all this is Brock Purdy's Joe Montana. And this is a stepping stone. Yeah, that's literally what I was trying to get across. Yeah,
no, my final thought on the quarterback situation, and the one thing that I don't know why this sounds mean. I don't know why Niner fans haven't figured it out. Is this comparison of Jordan Love and Brock Purdy in terms of their seasons and people liking Love more and yada yada yada. And my thing is that not the territory of expectations?
Also,
Jordan Love.
Quick, Andrew Pasquini, Also, real quick, Andrew Pasquini. Joe Montana fumbled in 1981 in that championship game. 4 turnovers.
4 turnovers. Not good.
4 before the catch.
Yeah.
Damn, I don't know if the 49ers should even go to the Super Bowl at that point. Like, why even play the game now?
Are they even going to win 1 Super Bowl in the 80s, let alone 4? Like, I just don't know. But my thing is, it's like the Packers, as good as they are, I don't think that was a spot. If you would have told the Packer fan in August that you're going to be in the divisional round against the San Francisco 49ers with Jordan Love as your quarterback, I think a lot of Packer fans would have been like, that sounds good to me. That's a great season. And it's very different for Brock Purdy because the Niners' expectation isn't to make the playoffs. The Niners' expectation is not to win a playoff game. Hey, Jason, between you and I, it's not to make an NFC championship game. It's not even to make a Super Bowl. The 49ers are graded on whether or not they win a Super Bowl. And that's what Brock Purdy's going to – that's whether it's fair or not to a second-year quarterback, that is how he is going to be graded. So when he has a game like he had on Saturday, it's going to be critiqued harder than Jordan Love, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, right? Because the Packers were not supposed to be there. So that's really the final thing I have on the quarterback position because of the expectations of it. And Brock Purdy being on a team that's expected to win a Super Bowl, automatically, as I said, whether fair or not, he is expected to step in and continue that Super Bowl expectation. And that's just how it is, and that's what realistically it's going to be the rest of the way. Brock Purdy, we're going to talk about linebackers. We got a whole section for linebackers set up.
Hey, yo.
I don't want to talk about it. Pause, though.
Hey,
love you.
Yo.
So that's really all I got on the
that's my dog.
That's the final thoughts I have on the quarterback spot is, yes, the expectations are going to be a little wonkier for Brock Purdy because the Niners have to win a Super Bowl. And that's just what it is.
You want them to be battle tested. You wanted to see them win a game in which everything went wrong. You wanted to see your comeback. You got it. And now it's nervousness. Well, I would say the 49ers got their worst performance of the playoffs. No more rust. Nothing. No more rust. It's done. You get that out the way now. And there won't be any rain. By the way, I thought it never fucking rained in California. What is this deal like with this rain? Like, this is insane. Why does it rain only during 49ers games? It feels like there's literally droughts. There's times where you guys are sitting there like, we literally don't have any water, but the San Francisco 49ers have a game in Levi's, and the rain's like, fucking do it now. Like, stop. Just leave us alone. We can't go to Chicago. We can't be in Levi's. We can't. It's fucking raining. Why? What happened? Is global warming real? All right. Anyway.
Jason,
real quick.
Go ahead.
Good. No, just the final thought on Brock Purdy.
Yes.
You can't have it both ways.
Yes.
You can't. You cannot have it both ways. You cannot sit there and look into the camera and say, I need to see Brock Purdy come back from something. He does it, and now you're worried. I don't understand this thought process because I think it's insane. It's insane. Kyle Shanahan can't do this from this amount of points, whatever. Done. Like, why on earth are you now less confident? I walked away from this game being more confident because I think the San Francisco 49ers can't play any worse than they did on Saturday. It's impossible. No. It's impossible. No. Guys were falling all over the field, wide open plays. And by the way, Jordan Love is so impressive. And I'll tell you, man, Jordan Love's got some big boy fucking throws.
Jordan Love's a dude.
But Brock Purdy didn't turn the ball over once, has more yards, completed the same amount of passes. What are we doing here?
Yep.
What are we doing here? Explain it to me. Because I watched the game 3 times, and I don't even know how to explain how the 49ers won. But explain to me now why Packers fans and everybody else should be like, oh, Jordan Love was the best quarterback on the field. In which game? Because was it Saturday?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, he was the better quarterback for 3 of the 4 quarters. Unfortunately, the one quarter he was not better in was the quarter that decided the game, and it was the 4th quarter. And that instantly flips it into Brock Purdy's favor because in a playoff game, Jason Aponte, in the fourth quarter or in the second half, not even in the fourth quarter, interception, punt, missed field goal, interception. Like you can't do that. And if you look at the Niners' last 4 possessions, it was field goal, points on the board, and obviously missed field goal isn't on Jordan Love. We'll talk about that in a little bit, Jason. Kicker talk today. I'm sorry. We have to talk about it. Punt, and then it's the all or nothing drive. It's literally touchdown or nothing. And what did Brock Purdy do? They scored a touchdown. And so that's what it is.
Completion was a drop by George Kittle.
Do not get it twisted. I think Jordan Love was better for 3 of the 4 quarters, but Brock Purdy was better for the whole game because he was the one who had the fourth quarter.
I don't want to keep opening up wounds. Jimmy Garoppolo was better for 3 quarters than Patrick Mahomes was in the Super Bowl. Exactly. Do you think I care? Do you think I care that Jimmy Garoppolo was better for those 3 quarters? Because you know why?
Jason.
The Kansas City Chiefs are the team that won the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's just what it is, guys.
So I'll never understand it. Just apply the logic to the own things that you've seen. You've literally watched this happen before. Yes. And now, and I don't even think I'm yelling at 49ers fans because they're elated right now. Like there's no way that like we're out here like not being excited. But it's literally in front of you. It's in front of you. I know, Rory. I'm sorry, Rory. I had to bring up Kyle Williams. I had to bring up fucking Jimmy Garoppolo. But I'm trying to show
Beyonce halftime shows. You want to talk about those?
God. But I'm trying to show you. I'm trying to show you that every single team that has won a Super Bowl has had a game that they shouldn't have won, right? Or they didn't deserve to win, or they weren't the better team. And that's what's got to make you feel a little bit better about this team now, because you start to feel like, oh shit, Team of Destiny vibes? Oh no, is it our time? Oh no, did we win a game finally and we weren't on the other side of it? This is so weird. This discourse around this game is so strange because you should look at it positively because the 49ers did something they haven't done all year. The 49ers weren't on the other end of a gut-wrenching loss in the playoffs, and they move on. Moving on is all that matters. Eli Manning didn't give a fuck before he got to play the New England Patriots after that. Patrick Mahomes was the worst quarterback on the field for 3 quarters, but he did it in the fourth quarter and they won. I don't care. Get it done. They don't got it. Look, the only people that are upset about how the 49ers won and by how much they won is Vegas and anybody who bet.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. Literally who is that's
You know what? The key to the game. Here's the key to the game on Sunday. You ready, Andrew?
Yes.
The San Francisco 49ers should score more points than the Detroit Lions, and I think they have a really good chance at winning the game. I think they have a great chance at winning the game if they score more points than the Lions. That's just my opinion. I know it's out there thinking. I know it's out there, and I know that's like it's over the top. But if the San Francisco 49ers end up with 1 more point than the Detroit Lions, I think they have a really good chance of winning the game. It's just my opinion.
I have the worst memory, and I apologize. But who's our official statistician? Who's our commenter that keeps track of the 49ers? Jesse, can you look up the Niners record this season when they score more points than their opponents? And get 100%. Back to me on that. Keith Murphy, I like the fact we're now overlooked. Keith, I love you. You comment all the time.
Shout out to Keith.
I love you, Keith. And it hurts me to say this.
Real. Yeah, still
there is no world where the Niners are going to be overlooked against the Detroit Lions. And that's what I got. That's all I got.
Oh, Rory, you know what? Rory's stepping in.
Rory 13-0. Well, I believe they're 14-0.
The 49ers are 13-0 in games that they outscore their opponent. That's high level analysis right here. Like this is like the shit that you can't get from anywhere else.
They finished 12-5. That's 12-5. Yes, Niners 13-0 in games where they outscore their opponents this year. Jason, we've spent 20 minutes on the quarterback position. That bodes well because there's a lot more to talk about in this game. This is the first game that made me decide we should not split running backs and receivers. We're just going to put them together, call them skill players. Because I want to ask you this question, Jason Aponte. And this is my favorite part of the podcast. This is Andrew asks Jason Aponte dumb football questions. Fazil, and we're 0-5 when other teams outscore us. Yes, thank you very much. Appreciate it. I assume this research. I assume this is the research I get by being a member. There you go. Exactly.
Spicy Squad. That's the type of research. That's the type of hard hitting stuff you get.
Yes.
The 49ers
yes.
are 13-0 in games that they outscore their opponent. They're 0-5 when they don't outscore their opponent. That is the type of high end analysis, the things that you really need, and the things that are going to put you at ease when it comes to, like, how do you analyze the game, man? I just look, and Beast Mode Gaming, I comment too, but haters will hate. No, Beast Mode, stop it. You're still a GOAT.
Jason, this is my dumb Andrew football question that Jason Aponte says he's either right or wrong on, and Andrew learns a little something. So here's my question about the skill positions. And I think I asked this in the group chat. I asked it in my winners and losers on NinersNation.com. We write for Niners Nation. 201 people in here may not know. We write for NinersNation.com. Me and Jason Aponte, go check that out.
Damn, 200. Oh, the
200! Ready to smoke that Packer pack. But Jason Aponte, my dumb football question of the week. Is the benefit of having an offense that features Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle, Brandon Ayuk, and Deebo Samuel, that if, say, something happens like Deebo Samuel suffers a shoulder injury, that you still have an offense that features Christian McCaffrey, Brandon Ayuk, and George Kittle? Is that not a benefit?
Let's do it.
And I understand that Deebo Samuel is very important to this offense for everything he does. But should an offense with that much star power be able to be more sustainable with just one of the pieces missing?
Let's do it. Kyle, big supporter. The creator of Only Chance.
Love you.
Literally. My favorite coach of all time. The drippiest coach in the world. That black suit, that black outfit that you wore in Green Bay when CJ Beathard was the quarterback, the drippiest. No coach can see you. You like Lil Wayne. Your play calls are immaculate. Your play calls and your system is being studied all across the league. I have so many questions, and here's one. Deebo Samuel leaving the game shouldn't just leave you stuck like the guy from The Waterboy who can't call plays anymore because his notebook got stolen. I don't understand it. I really don't understand it. To Andrew's point, Deebo Samuel leaving the game shouldn't make you forget the fact that you've got the offensive player of the year.
Yeah.
George Kittle's the best tight end in the world. Brandon Ayuk had a 1,300-yard season. And yet, Jawan Jennings gets a fucking handoff at the look, dude. Look. I understand the game plan. I understand what you've practiced. I get all of that. Someone smarter than me needs to explain to me why this offense freezes up when the game plan has been centered around Deebo and Deebo leaves, and then now, I have no idea what to do now. Kyle, look, I understand, man. You're a genius. We all think you're a genius. And if you weren't, then every single team wouldn't be trying to steal what you're doing, your sauce, in some way. They wouldn't be stealing your coaches. They wouldn't be stealing your playbook. They wouldn't be stealing your play calls. I get it. But my God, man, I need you to uplift, man. Look, if I was Kyle Shanahan, let's just say this. If I was Kyle Shanahan and Deebo Samuel left the game, I'll be like, shit, man. I might want to get 85 guy on some linebackers and throw the ball to him. No, Nancy, don't inspire that. Yeah. And then I would say, hey, that Christian McCaffrey guy who's been rested for 3 weeks, maybe just hand him the football a little bit more. Christian McCaffrey had really close to 100 yards. It felt like he never really got the ball at certain times. That's so weird.
So that was my point. So he's 17 for 98, but if you take away the 39-yard touchdown run, that's 16 for 59. That's not a good day, but I just don't understand. I just don't understand how you're facing the fifth worst run defense in terms of yards.
Yeah.
And you throw the ball 23 more times than handing it off to Christian McCaffrey.
So I heard what Kyle said about this. I heard what Kyle said about this, that the handoff was a mistake due to removing a word off of the wristband. That's not good enough.
Sounds like
Not in
Grant Hill needs to be QC.
not in the divisional round. Not in the divisional round.
Problem.
That's not good enough.
No.
That's not good enough.
No.
That's not a week 6 gaff. It was literally you played. No, all right. So let's talk about it. Let's go deeper. Let's talk about it. Kyle, I love you, buddy, and I know you watch the show. Yeah, literally, like Matt. It's pitch to Johnny. You can't pitch to Johnny. I'm Johnny. Like literally, that was Joanne Jennings from Little Giant. Pitch to Johnny. I'm Johnny. So look,
that's good. That's good. I like that one.
Yeah. Look, so that is compounded with the way that you played going into the second half, and how you wanted to sit there and you wanted to take a field goal with somebody. Yeah, I'm glad that everybody got it. That was so good. Yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate you.
That's actually that's the second Little Giants reference today, because Jose Sanchez over there at
I'm literally gonna run to Twitter like when you start talking to
he tweeted, what would feel sweeter to y'all 49er fans, beating the Ravens in the Super Bowl or beating the Chiefs? And I just said, just winning the Super Bowl would be nice. Could be against the Little Giants for all I care. Like I don't care who they be. But so second Little Giants reference today from the Red Option podcast.
So the problem is this: it's the play calls going into the second half, on top of Juwan Jennings getting the first handoff. Because how can you sit there and say, I want to play for the field goal, knowing that your kicker isn't someone that you really have the most confidence in? And you Shanahan, I want to get in your brain a little, man, because they asked the question. And it was Matt Mayoko, respected Matt Mayoko. My father's fired. Matt Miyoko is my dad. Matt Miyoko asked a question at the press conference about that. And Kyle said, well, I mean, you can go back, what player you're talking about. And, I'm just glad we have more points at the end of the game. Nice answer. Nice answer, Kyle. It's okay, Kyle, to be like, you know what? Let me do it in Shanny's voice. I feel like I made the wrong call right there, and I'm just happy that my team was able to overcome. Is he always condescending to people, and it's just we get it, ball, we get it, Kyle Shanahan, ball. But my God, man, there has to be a point where you have to still answer for certain things. Obviously, it didn't matter because the 49ers won, but Kyle always is condescending. The question I'm going to ask you, Andrew, is what happens when Kyle Shanahan gets his ring? When Kyle Shanahan gets his ring, he is going to go off the rails. No one's going to be able to ask him a question ever at all, because he's going to be like, well, shit, I'm a Super Bowl champion. Go to hell, that's literally what Kyle's going to be like. I just want to know what happened here.
They're going to fit his podium with a little ring holder, so he can just always put it on the little holder, so everybody sees he's a Super Bowl champion, so nobody can question him. But yeah, man, I don't know what he was doing this game. I'm to be 1,000% honest, and we're gonna talk about what happened right before the halftime here in a second, because that goes into the Juwan Jennings handoff. I hated this game plan. I 1,000% hated this game plan, and I really don't like how it feels like this offense cannot function with one piece missing, and that just is a concern to me. And ideally, Debo plays on Sunday, and we don't have to talk about this again. I wasn't thrilled with it. But here's the thing, Jason, as Kyle Shanahan would say, who finished with more points, and that's just kind of the end of the argument.
But it was such a cop-out answer. Matt Miyoko asked him a specific question.
That's all he gives. The guy, the dude who said, I don't know if I'm gonna be alive on Sunday. You think that guy's gonna give you deep insight on anything? It's just people were tweeting oh my God, they better ask about that segment right before the half. And it's they're going to ask, but it's not going to do anything. Kyle Shanahan's not going to give a like, you know what, I messed up, I screwed up, I shouldn't have done that. He's not going to do that. So, listen, at the end of the day, Niners win the game. Don't care, but it's a concern. It is definitely a concern going into the NFC Championship game that you can't feel like you're missing one player on this offense and make it work. So that's where I'm at with it. Jason, let's move on to the offensive line. And I have no qualms. I have no complaints about the 49ers offensive line in that game. Brock Purdy only sacked once. The run game, I don't want to critique them for the poor run game. As I said, like 24 for 111 is not too bad. 2 touchdowns on the ground. But I don't know. I had no qualms with the offensive line. Jason, is that where you're at as well with the offensive line on Saturday?
My bad. I found a little Giants thing. I'm about to like tweet out this banger real quick before somebody else gets their hands on it.
Absolutely. Yeah. One of our commenters.
Yeah. I none of you guys steal it. Like I literally just
none of you tweeted.
Like none of you tweeted. I just tweeted it. It's out. The offensive line. Trent Williams is really good. Jake Brendel had a really good game. The Feliciano and Burford thing is a little perplexing. I mean, Feliciano had far more snaps, but why does Spencer Burford have 10 snaps?
Yeah, it's weird.
I don't get this part.
No.
By the way, Spencer Burford on 10 snaps, he has 7 pass blocking snaps. He got a 0.0 pass blocking grade.
That's not good.
No,
that's not good.
Right. Look, I know we make a lot of jokes about PFF and like how it happens, but how on earth in 7 pass blocking, it's -2 to 2. How on earth do you end up with a 0
on 10 pass blocking attempts?
Yeah,
especially considering he only allowed 1 pressure.
Yeah. And then Feliciano, he was rated really high, and he had like 5 pressures or 4 pressures.
4 pressures on 54, about the same percentage.
Don't ask me how it works. Don't care. Look, I'll tell you this. Colton McKivitz, that's an issue. And there was a lot of times where Brock Purdy missed throws because he couldn't step into the throws and he couldn't get right up. Like in the NFL, you only have 2 seconds get the ball out, right? But man, you're starting to look at like now. Thank God it's Detroit, right? Hutchinson's just gonna spin himself, like the Tasmanian devil, like a bunch of times. Like it's a spin and a spin and a spin and just push him to the ground, like get him out of here. But man, that Baltimore line, that Kansas City Chiefs line, God damn it, I can't believe we're saying that the Kansas City Chiefs have a chance to be in the Super Bowl again, man. That shit bothers me so much. I can't believe it. I thought this was the year we're getting rid of them. But the other defensive lines that are down the line, that's scary. And that's where you really like get scared. For me, a little bit of like you have to do give and take. Brock, it was raining, it was cold, whatever. Oh my God, it's cold and it's 52 degrees. That shit made me want to puke and vomit. Like when people were saying that, like absolutely, I don't understand like what that means.
I don't even want to start talking about the rain because it was so obvious the rain was in the 49ers heads. Yeah, we didn't see any conversation about Jordan Love wearing a glove. We didn't see the Packers slipping. We didn't see anything about the Packers having to change their cleats at halftime. We didn't see any of that. And the weird thing is this was a home game this wasn't like it's at Lambeau. Yeah. The Packers were more prepared for the weather than the Niners were, and that's not good. And that 100% if the Niners had lost that game would have been my old man yelling at a cloud take that like this game was over before it started because the Niners were too worried about the rain. Look at that.
Jim Everett. I love you, buddy.
What a list.
I love you, buddy. I love you, man.
We love you, Jim Everett.
You know what, Jim Everett? I think the biggest thing that I should say is I didn't want to play the Rams, and the Rams literally took the Lions to the last second. Yep. So was I lying? Was I wrong?
Because were you lying?
The Philadelphia Eagles scored 9 points against the Tampa Bay Bucks. Wasn't worried about them. The Dallas Cowboys couldn't beat Jordan Love. Ball. And that's why I didn't want to play the Rams. The Rams were always that team that was annoying, 100%. But like back to the offensive line, like I think it's a little bit of both. Brock obviously missed throws, but there were times where, like, God, like that Jawan Jennings throw, and I know we're going back to the quarterback. That Jawan Jennings throw on third down, that's a big, like, nuts on the table throw. Yeah. Like, what more do you want to see from Brock Purdy? Yeah. The young man steps up on third down, gotta have it. This game's on the line, gotta have it. Over the linebacker, in between the safety. That's a big boy throw. If Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, if Lamar Jackson made that throw, ESPN would be literally running it over and over and over. But when it's Brock Purdy, we don't really care about it because it has to be the system. The system made that throw. The system made him step up and make that throw. Like, please, man. Like, I just want to look. I don't care if Saturday's game changed your perspective on the 49ers or Brock Purdy. No. There's no way that if you're a ball watcher, a ball knower, you watch that film, you watch that throw, and you didn't say, that's a big boy throw. That's a big boy throw. And that's part of the reason that sometimes Brock missed. Brock missed a little bit because they had a guy right there. Like, I just don't understand. No, wait, hold up. SoCal Niner fan, that's not a pause. Ball knower. You know. What do you mean? I don't. Yeah, all right, whatever. Fine. Pause. Let's go. But there's no way you could watch Brock Purdy make that throw and say, "Oh, whatever." Shit, that was the system. Yeah. Shanahan threw that. That was McCaffrey. Come on, man. Like, it's got to be a give and take. Yeah. There has to be a give and take, man. I don't understand. Like, it's easy for you to say, like, okay, Ryan Clark, right? Ball watches. All right, yeah, all right. Ball watches.
Hey, man.
You got it. Yeah, 100%. Don't let Croc see this, please.
Don't let Croc see it, no. Jason, we're already.
No, hold up.
Okay, sorry.
Hold on, no, real quick. It's easy for you to, like, sit there and say, like, hey, Brock had this in this game. But it's like, damn, like, why can't you acknowledge that he did something good? Like, it's just, I don't understand. And like Ryan Clark said, he's not in the tier of Allen, Mahomes. I don't disagree with that. No. I don't disagree with that. No. I don't. But who cares? I don't care. Yeah. The way this offense operates, Brock Purdy is the perfect point guard, right? Let's talk basketball. Real quick. Let's talk basketball. You got a bunch of stars. You got your USA team. It's Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, rest in peace, Michael Jordan, whatever the fuck. But you need a point guard who will distribute the ball. And you're going to look at the point guard like he's the issue when he has to get the ball to guys? Like, I don't understand this. When they say doesn't uplift, right? When they say doesn't uplift, because I heard Ryan Clark say doesn't uplift, and that's where I disagree. Brandon Ayuk has 1,300 yards. Never had that with Jimmy Garoppolo. George Kittle is the number 1 tight end in football. Sorry, Taylor Swift's boyfriend. You're not. Christian McCaffrey, best in the league. Is that because Brock Purdy's there? Do you think any quarterback could have done that? Because if they could have, they would have. I don't understand. Like, how did it come to this point where I have to explain to people about Brock Purdy being a point guard and this offense? And just, all right, I'm done, man.
I know. I like it.
We got super chats.
I like it. Gray Fox, after Shanahan wins the Super Bowl, he's going to finish every press conference knocking the podium with his ring like Frank Underwood. Yeah, that's why he's going to get the little display for his ring so he can show it off at all times. Jay said, I like your passion with Brock Purdy. I love it. I'm excited to talk 2 more games about Brock Purdy, but let's transition to the defense here. And we're at 45 minutes. There was a lot to unpack from the offense. So instead of going position by position, Jason, let's just kind of big points. I think I'm in the minority here, but I love the game from the defense. Am I wrong for having that opinion? Because to me, because I understand like the first quarter or the first half, Green Bay was moving the ball down the field. But for Green Bay to have 3 consecutive drives inside the Niners red zone and come out with 6 points, that's a good defense, right? The one drive, the 9-play, 75-yard touchdown drive, whatever, that happens. You're allowed that. The Packers' second touchdown drive was off of the 75-yard kick return that set them up 20 yards away from the end zone. I thought the defense played really good. But first, I want to talk about the issues I had. First of all, the pass rush. What happened to the pass rush, Jason Aponte? And my question is, this is my overreaction question of the day. Did the Niners trade for the wrong Washington pass rusher? Because where's Chase Young?
Oh, all right. So, man, let's start with the Chase Young thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm nervous.
Uh-huh.
I'm very nervous. All right, so I watched the game, I did my instant reaction, and I asked on the instant reaction, am I tripping? Or did Chase Young completely sell out on certain plays? And people said, hey, we kind of believe you. And you know me, I don't want to give big takes.
Yeah.
Without watching the film.
Yeah.
Oh God. I'm nervous.
Yeah.
I'm nervous. I am nervous, man. Look, when you acquire Chase Young to be opposite of Nick Bosa, have Javon Hargrave and Eric Armstead, you expect your defensive line to not just be good, but you've got four of the best in the world at their position. 4 of them. He's selling out on plays. He's losing contain. He's giving up on run plays. I don't get it, man. I really don't get it. Sometimes I look at the play and I'm watching it again and again and again, and I'm like, bro, is he just not running? I don't know, Andrew. I'm gonna leave it to you, man. But my God, man, I gotta say, unless something, Chase Young's got 2 games left, and this man wants to get paid. This man's got 2 games left to put things on tape that he wants to get paid. Otherwise, he's gonna take those 1-year deals. I don't know, man. I don't know, man.
It's even concerning too, because we've talked about Arden Key and Kerry Hyder and all these guys the Niners have brought in, this Chris Kocurek bump. And you would think a guy like Chase Young would benefit from that, and it just hasn't been there. To answer the question, yeah, the Niners did trade for the wrong Washington pass rusher. I'm just going to say it because Montez Sweat was good for the Bears. Obviously, the Bears are out of the playoffs. But I think my biggest issue with the pass rush in this game too is, Ambry Thomas had the game he had, which, if you want to touch on that, we can. I don't know if we need to. Niners won, whatever. But how was the pass rush the worst part of a defense in a playoff game? Because I know Ambry Thomas wasn't good, but Charvarius Ward made some plays. The secondary wasn't too bad. And then obviously we'll talk Dre Greenlaw here in a second. I just don't know how the pass rush is the worst part on a 49ers defense in a playoff game. And that's just concerning to me. So I'm not too thrilled about Chase Young's performance. I know people saying Kinlaw had a good game. He did. But man, when you have a pass rush that has Chase Young and Nick Bosa, sacking the opposing quarterback in a playoff game 0 times is not good. It's not. And so is it a concern going into the rest of the postseason? Maybe, because you kind of bank on the pass rush getting there, and they didn't. So I don't know where I'm at with the pass rush. It could totally change on Sunday. They could get Jared Goff 4 times, and I'll feel good. But no. I don't want to get to the point to say where's Nick Bosa, but where are we at?
It's hard for me to think that they're going to get Jared Goff a bunch of times when that Lions offensive line is better than the Packers.
Very good. Yeah, no.
Literally, when I filled out my PFWA ballot, Ragnow, Penei Sewell, Jackson were all 3 guys that I literally had over everybody. I didn't vote for Jason Kelsey. I didn't vote for Lane Johnson. I didn't vote for any of those guys. I voted for the Detroit Lions line.
Yep.
That line is elite. Best in the league. Best in the world. So now it doesn't get easier. It doesn't get easier. I wish it was Tampa. If it was Tampa, just stay away from Tristan Wirfs and go at everybody else. I will say this. Let's put a positive spin on it. My goodness, the San Francisco 49ers secondary, aside from some penalties and, one player in particular, I'm going to let you guys surmise who that is.
Thomas.
All right, you said it.
I said it. I already said it.
They're good.
Yeah.
Traverse Ward's good, as long as he doesn't fall. Diamador Lenore.
Demo. Laying some wood out there.
Stop playing. No, stop playing with Diamador Lenore. Stop playing. It looks better. It looks better on film. Whatever you thought you saw, it looks better on film. Demo. Ward. Gibson, stop fouling people. Ambry. Oh, God. It just look, man. All right. Look. Ambry. I want to say this. You played well. But it's clear that when everyone goes and they look at this secondary, they're going at you. They're going at you.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. The final drive is your best. I implore everybody to watch the final drive right before Drake Greenlaw makes the catch. So they run that speed motion towards Ambry's side, and Ambry is just backing off, trying to keep everything close, and they throw the ball to him. Big catch, fine. Romeo Doubs gets 10. The next play, Drake Greenlaw sinks to that exact spot to put his hands up and you've got to shade someone his way. They were doing that all game. It wasn't like they're like, oh, where's our number one guy? Oh, it's Ambry Thomas. We're gonna go. It was, who is Ambry Thomas covering? And I don't like that because the Detroit Lions, Amon-Ra St. Brown,
good.
Jameson Williams,
good.
Josh Reynolds,
good.
Sam Laporta,
good.
Zach Ertz now. How much help does Don Bird need?
How much help does Don Bird need?
It's just like you can tell where it's going. So the secondary, for the most part, aside from Logan Ryan taking an awful angle on that Aaron Jones run, oh my God, the all-22 makes that shit look even worse. The secondary, I don't feel as bad about.
No.
Start take. Can we what happened? Start Jair Brown.
Start Jair Brown. Logan Ryan is a great NFL player. It's 2024.
And I saw that Jackson. I guess Jackson's out. If he is, then that's not good. And right now is hurt, but he's gonna play. But just start take. What are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing? You want a guy who is fast, playing downhill to the ball hawk, and then in the biggest game, Logan Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
Weird. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's really weird. Jason, the last thing I'll say on the defense, before we get to 3 stars, because we're almost at an hour, we should get up out of here. Dre Greenlaw got to get down. I got to get down. He's got to get down.
Have I ever yelled louder at a TV for someone to get down than Drake Greenlaw running around Greenlaw was trying to run out the clock though. It's like a basketball player. You don't want to get fouled. You're trying to yeah. I was yelling at the TV. Get down. It even got to a point that Greg Olsen yelled as loud as he could. Get down.
So the first one I was more okay with because they were losing trying to make a play. I found it impressive. He only spanned 7 yards. He just ran back and forth. He wasn't even trying to move forward. But the second one, and I think the greatest thing about the second one is the fan who has his or her arms up, blocking the camera, lining up perfectly with Dre Greenlaw cutting back to the other side of the field. We don't know where the ball is for a solid 5 seconds. And it's just like, oh my, did he fumble? Like, oh, I went back, I watched the replays of those plays, and I timed how long he carried the ball. He had the ball for 24 seconds on those 2 runs, 12 seconds each. The first one was very fun and goofy, but oh my God, he needed to fall down on that second one because that was very stressful and I did not like it. But hey, huge game, Dre Greenlaw. I know that I am very quick to criticize him on, his extracurriculars. The missed tackles feels like it's an issue that comes from him sometimes. But I mean, when you need 2 big turnovers and it's the same guy and it's a linebacker, Jason, we're going to get to 3 stars here in a few minutes, but spoiler, he's not 3 or 2, dare I say. I love the game from him. Just the 2 interceptions. And then I'm an agent of chaos. I love chaos in my football games. Dre Greenlaw, that was a little extra, a little too much chaos for me.
Andrew Pasquini, I don't get emotional when it comes to football games. Like tear up. You know what made me tear up? Aziz Al-Shaair came to the game and he stood on the sideline. And Aziz Al-Shaair joined the linebacker 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. Break it down. That made me sad. That really, really brought a tear to my eye, man. Shout out to Aziz Al-Shaair, and I'm so glad that you're doing well in Tennessee, man. But, hey, man, Dre's hooping, man. And I don't think anybody ever thought that he wasn't a good player.
Yeah.
It's just, please, slow down. Like, we're not calling you Draymond Greenlaw for no reason. Like, you're a great defender. Sounds a lot like Draymond Green.
Yeah.
But please stop throwing
not
people
great.
into
Not
the fucking Gatorade bottles.
We learned too he's not great offensively like Draymond Green with how he carried the ball.
Yeah, well, he doesn't know how to fucking follow a convoy. The man's got linemen going his way and cuts it back. I'm just like, bro, it's a pick 6.
I thought it was impressive, too, that not only did he ignore the convoy, but on the first one, he ignored the 3 Niners who were just following behind him like, hey, man, pitch it. Like, toss it back to one of us who can run faster and not zigzag for 20 seconds.
Look, 49er fans, if you want to laugh, watch the final interception from Dre Greenlaw and watch 54. Watch 54 because you're gonna be impressed for 2 reasons. 1, he carries a slot receiver all the way up, and then when his assignment changes, he matches the dig route and follows that. And then he's there when Greenlaw makes the interception. Greenlaw runs the other way, and you watch Fred Warner literally run to the other end zone. Please watch him celebrate and leave like all the way to the other side. And Chase Young, of all people, he celebrated as soon as that ball went straight up to Dre Greenlaw and threw his hands up. And I'm like, yeah, what did you do, blood? Like, seriously, what did you do? But it's funny as hell to me that if you watch 54 is carrying a slot receiver all the way up, and then he matches to the over receiver, and he follows him, and then Greenlaw intercepts the ball, and Fred Warner just runs the other way because he's so excited. It goes to tell you, like, how this team feels. Like, that football team, they knew for a fact that they walked out of that game and won a game that they probably shouldn't have won.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
But,
absolutely.
But
that's why
that Nick Bosa picture.
A game you probably shouldn't have won is a game you won. And that's just what it is.
Booker McFarland and Jason Aponte once said, I'd rather almost lose than almost win.
Absolutely. Jason Aponte, we are at an hour. I'm sure we've missed a lot in this game. But you have a State of the Franchise on Wednesday, I believe. We got 223 people in here, so let's plug a little bit before we get to 3 stars. Jason Aponte has State of the Franchise. I believe it's on Wednesday. Correct me if I'm incorrect.
Correct. Bully ball tomorrow with Steph Sanchez.
Plenty of other places you can find Jason Aponte's opinions.
No. Hold on. Forget all that. Keep your eyes closed, or
open. Keep them open. Open.
Keep them tuned to the Sprint Right Option podcast because we got something very special cooking. We got it cooking. Yeah.
Got it cooking.
This week is going to be generational.
We're hoping.
This week is generational right now. Yeah, we're generational this week because there's a lot of people that want to get in front of cameras and say stuff, and they're looking at people, and I hate to tell people, but they're reaching out to Andrew Pasquini and Jason Aponte to find out like where they at. Like, like that's.
If we get this guest, if this happens,
I think it's gonna happen.
Easily, I like to be a little more knock on wood on these things.
I mean, it's done. It's done.
Would be
done. And if not, we just get Don Burr. If not,
we'll get Don Burr. We'll get Don Burr. But if the name we are hoping happens, easily the Mount Rushmore of Sprint Right Option podcast guess easily.
I mean, all right. So think about like real quick. What's the what is the Sprint Right Option Mount Rushmore?
Kwasi Tart,
Jordan Elliott, Rich Madrid, Brad Graham, Jaquaski Tart, Guy Haberman, Eric Crocker.
Akash. We had Akash on.
Akash. I mean it gets crowded. Crowded at the top. It gets crowded at the top.
Gets crowded at the top, but I'm pretty confident that it's going to be a little less crowded.
This one,
Jason,
this might be the one.
Jason, 3 stars. 3 stars. Let's do it. My third star. I'm gonna go Brock.
Yeah.
Not the best game, but all that matters is that fourth quarter happened. The drive happened. 6 for 7. The one drop being the fun little George Kittle drop I didn't like, but that's okay. But I mean, a few great throws, the Kittle touchdown, the Juwan Jennings, I want to honorable mention Juwan Jennings because I don't feel like we said his name enough. We talked about the end around to start.
What a game!
What a game! And I want to make sure because he's not in my 3 stars. Maybe he's Jason Aponte's third star. Is he? No, he's not. So we'll see who Jason Aponte's third star is. But I'm going to run with Brock Purdy just because I know the game wasn't the best. The game was not the best, and I get it. But in that situation, a must-score touchdown to lead the drive he did with some of the throws he made. I mean, the Chris Conley throw. Chris Conley had a big play on that final drive as well. So I just shout out Brock Purdy for that final drive. He's going to be my third star. Jason Aponte, who's your number 3?
Andrew Pasquini is the number 1 star in my heart. Always.
Oh, beautiful.
But third star, Diamador Lenore.
Yes.
Diamador Lenore. Like, I don't know what it is about the playoffs, but I'm going to drop a stat. I'm not the stat guy. 19.6 passer rating when targeting Diamador Lenore in the playoffs.
Well, good for Lenore, not good for quarterbacks.
19.6. Demo, you're a dog. And that number 2 jersey is so fucking clean.
Yes.
So clean.
Yes.
Normalize secondary members wearing single-digit numbers. Normalize it. Diamador Lenore is my third star. Dude, you knocked the coins out of the Philadelphia Eagles, and then they added it to Levi's after you made the hit. Someone made a hit, and they were like, bling, that's because of Demo.
Yep.
Keep cooking, Demo.
Yep.
And honestly, honorable mention to Juwan Jennings. This team has been missing something on third down. They've been missing it for a while. And whether it's Jimmy Garoppolo, whether it's, whoever the quarterback is, Brock Purdy, Trey Lance, I would dare to say that Juwan Jennings' dog in him meter is on 100.
Oh, yeah. 110.
And you know what gets me more sad? Juwan Jennings is going to get a bag from someone next year. And I fear this is his last run as a 49er. He's going to get a bag.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to get a bag. Not only because of the catches, but the blocking.
Yeah.
But back to Demo. we talk a lot about misses. We talk a lot about, who should we should have drafted this guy. We should have drafted this guy, that guy. God damn, man, you got to give him respect. Diamador Lenore, my third star. Keep cooking, my boy. Keep cooking, my boy. And when against Dallas, you make those interceptions. You have this game. Like, in the playoffs, Demo's different. Shout out to Demo, man. Oh, my bad. Jake, he won't leave. He won't leave this year. My bad. Oh, I think he's talking about Demo. The 49ers need to sign Demo.
Yeah, Niners gonna bring back Demo. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Jason, my number 2 star.
Go for it.
Brock Purdy can't make a fourth quarter drive without a certain thing happening at the start of the fourth quarter.
Go for it.
Imagine Jason Aponte waiting until the 6th round to draft a kicker. Niners jumped out, got a kicker in the 3rd round. He gets a kick in the 4th quarter, and it was stressful. Niners down 7. Clock's running out in the 3rd quarter. Jake Moody runs out there. Clock expires. You get a whole 4th quarter commercial break of Jake Moody's lining up for a 52-yard field goal. I don't feel great. What does he do? Right down the middle. Niners down 4. Packers waited till the 6th round to take a kicker named Anders Carlson. What does he do with his kick in the 4th quarter? Well, he misses it to set up Brock Purdy's touchdown drive. I know he missed the field goal in the first half. I'm not blaming that on him. That was completely on Kyle Shanahan. But a lot of talk about Brock Purdy, a lot of talk about the defense, a lot of talk about Dre Greenlaw. What?
It's all on Kyle?
I don't think Jake Moody should have been in that situation to even kick that field goal. At least not from 48.
Damn it, Andrew Pasquini. All Jake Moody is allowed to do is kick footballs. I don't give a shit. Oh, come on. My God, man. Look, Jake Moody hasn't made a tackle. He has to go to pass.
He almost did. You see him swing that arm to try and tip his foot?
All right, real quick. Jesse, good to see you, buddy. Love our statistician.
Oh, Jesse, yes.
That kick was going into the tunnel like Chase McLaughlin kicked it. That shit was going all the way to Arizona.
Hey, listen, in the first 3 yards of that kick, yes, it might have been going that far, but maybe the wind blows it. I don't know. Yes, he missed the field goal. Yes, absolutely. I was not thrilled with how Kyle Shanahan handled that into the first.
Why did the guy on the right side of the line get a hand on that? That shit was going to Candlestick.
Jason, can we just talk about the 52-yard? Let me get the joke off about how the Packers made a mistake waiting until the 6th round to draft a kicker. Let me have this moment, damn it.
No. Hold up. I can back this shit up. Imagine drafting a kicker. Imagine
drafting your kicker.
Imagine. And you know what? Nothing vindicates me more than anything than them going to draft a kicker and then having him miss all the kicks in the world and having their coach say, I literally go out there and I pray.
Oh my God. Like I heard that. I cannot believe LaFleur said
this man had to do his exit interview. This man, Matt LaFleur, literally just had a gut-wrenching loss, like one that takes your whole heart out. And he had to answer a question about what he said about a kicker that his organization drafted. Look, I will say this. When he missed that kick, that's when I said, we got it now. We got it.
Oh, yeah. The second that kick hooked, it was like, it's done.
Now we got it.
But I just don't want to forget Moody's 52-yard field goal to start the 4th quarter because that sets up the ability.
Jesse says, I never blame kickers. I blame society for saying that kickers aren't football players. Hey,
I love it.
I'm not part of society. Trust me, man. I don't even have a job. Like, trust me, man.
We live in a society. So Jake Moody's my number 2 star, Jason Aponte. Who's your number 2?
Number 2? George fucking Kittle.
Yeah.
And I feel like we haven't talked about him at all.
Yeah.
George fucking Kittle. When the lights are on, when it's prime time, when it's time for you to go, it's the easiest bet in the world. over under 52.5 receiving yards on a primetime game. Over. George Kittle, I know you dropped the pass. That's fine. You still that guy. Not Taylor Swift's boyfriend. Not Sam Laporta, who, damn, he's the next one. Iowa's tight end you. But George Kittle, you're that guy. You're that guy, pal. I'm so happy you're on my team.
Yep.
Even all right, look, even as minute and close to like nothing that matters, the 49ers called timeout and he was still in formation and everybody got up and left. And he joked and like
did the block. He's ready.
Man. Yeah. George Kittle, man. I think we didn't talk about him enough in this game. And we didn't talk about him enough on this podcast. George Kittle, my number 2 star. George Kittle. Shout out to fucking you.
I'm taking a guess. Jason Aponte. I'm number 1 star. Count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Dre Greenlaw?
Nope.
No. Okay, I'll go Dre Greenlaw.
You talk about
I'll go Dre Greenlaw.
No, you were already gonna do it. You were already gonna do the Dre thing.
Yeah, perfect. Listen, I know we had fun with him running around, but 2 second half interceptions, one with the Niners behind in the third quarter, being able to get that interception. Niners go down the field, they kick the field goal to cut it to 4 to set up the situation to where Carlson can miss the field goal for the Niners to win. And then game sealing interception. This Niners defense, it's been highly critiqued all season because of Steve Wilkes. It's just more often than not, this defense seems to come up with the big play when they need it. You got a little bit. Who got the stop on the quarterback? Was it Kinlaw? And I think Greenlaw was in on the stop on the quarterback sneak in the first quarter as well. But man, to make 2 big plays in the second half of a playoff game as a linebacker, and it's not like big hits like Dean. Like we're talking about a cornerback making big hits and a linebacker 2 interceptions. Jake, funniest Kittle moment on Saturday. Kittle urgently running the receivers down to get to the line of scrimmage. That too. That was hella funny because they all ran to the end zone. They needed a spike, and he's like, we need to come back. But Dre Greenlaw is just phenomenal. Charlene just said it right there. 1 interception in 9 games. Jordan Love didn't have an interception in his last 4 games, starting with the Dallas game, the last 3 games of the regular season. Greenlaw got him twice in 1 half to put them away. So I'm going to go Dre Greenlaw, my number 1 star, just because he Niners needed big plays. He made them.
Number 1 star for Jason Aponte. Brock Purdy.
Okay.
All right, Brock. They say you couldn't win a game-winning drive. 13. They said you couldn't win in the rain. 13. They said when the game was in your hands, you couldn't do it. 13.
He's done miracles on me.
It's Brock Purdy. I've watched that game play out a few times, and unfortunately, it's happened recently with other quarterbacks. Can you shake off? When shit hits the fan, are you still a fan? Brock Purdy, you didn't play your best game on Saturday. You didn't.
Saturday. So used to saying Sunday.
Saturday. You didn't play your best game on Saturday. No. But when it was time, you had to make it happen. You did. Joe Montana, 3 interceptions before the Dwight Clark touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Brady's made his career of being a guy who just had 110 passing yards early on in his career. And then a 4th quarter drive. And he's got it. Brock, I want to tell you this. No matter how the season ends, which I believe will be with the 49ers hoisting the Lombardi, no matter what it is, you keep firing. You keep trying.
Mm-hmm.
And you still make throws that no one else would have made. Oh. You are unequivocally the best quarterback that Kyle Shanahan has been able to coach since Kirk Cousins. And you are beating the allegations and keeping Kirk Cousins away from this team every single time you make one of these. Brock Purdy, I've said some things about you in training camp that were true. I said some things that were harsh. I said some things that I've got to apologize about.
Yep.
13, you're the number one star. I get it, man. This is a team game. Dre Greenlaw has a game that, Andrew Pasquini wants to give him the number one star, and why not? But, man, Dre Greenlaw didn't get the team down the field to finish the game. And you know what? We'd be talking about similar things if someone made a kick in Cleveland. Yep. We would be talking about the similar things.
My number 2 star?
Yeah. And the funniest thing is, Debo Samuel left that game early. It was raining against a good defense. Honestly, man, Brock, it's you, man. It's you, dude. Like, I don't care where you line him up. I don't give a fuck if you think he's 32nd. I don't give a fuck if you think he's 54th. What matters is any guy that you're like labeling ahead of him, there's 4 teams left.
Mm-hmm.
4. There's going to be 2 at the end of Sunday. Brock Purdy's going to be one of those teams because, yes, I'm predicting the 49ers beat the Detroit Lions. I don't care where you label him. I don't care. It's up to you. I'll let that, get argued between you guys.
Yeah. Brock
Purdy, man, that's ball of shit. That is ball of shit right there. People would have folded. It was your time to fold, right? Everybody wanted to see it happen, right? Nope. Brock Purdy, number one star. Yep. Shout out to you, man.
I agree with everything you said. I put him 3, but like without his fourth quarter performance, we're not talking about Sunday now, are we? So, Jason, that's it. We're going to continue to tease Friday's episode. Hopefully we have something official here tomorrow, Wednesday. We'll get it out the second we confirm everything.
As soon as I find out, and the thumbnail's ready, we're cooking.
We're cooking. So exciting things ideally happening on Friday. Jason Aponte, I know it's not NFL, but close out with this because NBA Aponte exists. Embiid finished with 70 tonight.
How many points?
But 70. He might not even finish with the most points on the night, though. Yeah, Karl Anthony Towns has 53 halfway through the
70 and 53 at the half?
No, Embiid played the Spurs. He had 70 to finish the game.
Karl Anthony Towns had 53 at the half.
He has 53 halfway through the third. He had like 50, I believe. So there it is, Jason. NBA Aponte exists now, guys. So we got to update him
100%
as well.
Look, and I can fix the Warriors. More spacing, less turnovers. Your rotations are trash.
Run the entire offense.
And please put the ball in Steph's hands more.
Yes.
I don't know how that's possible, but yes, please.
Yeah. Well, Steve Kerr, just like Kyle Shanahan. Day one Sprint Right Option podcast listener, so I'm sure he's listening to the advice. But Jason,
look,
I'm excited for Friday.
This is the answer.
70 points and only plus 11.
Plus 11.
Joel Embiid, man.
Who makes this up? Who makes these stats up? How do you have 70 and you only get a plus 11?
21 of his 70 were from free throws as well. But neither here nor there, Jason Aponte. Exciting week. NFC Championship game on Sunday. We're going to have our preview on Friday. Gonna have a guest. We'll tell you who it is when we can. Jason Aponte. Jason Aponte, as always.
Let's go Niners, and don't let anybody tell you that you shouldn't be confident in this team. Let's fucking go.
No, this team's going far. They're going places, kid. They're going places, kid.
Oh yeah.
Welcome everybody.
We are live.
My name is Jason Aponte.
I am Andrew Pasquini.
We're working. That's it. We're working.